Hey guys, I want to do a quick video of adding a set of Avalanche and Escalade mirrors to your truck. I'll go through how I did the body work and why I went with these mirrors on this truck. So the first step was that I picked up a set of Avalanche mirrors. I actually bought these at two different times. The first mirror was the driver's side, and the second mirror I bought was the passenger side. These, kind of hard to tell, but they are body color. I ended up one mirror was actually this flat plastic, this textured plastic color, and the other was a silver color. So to add these mirrors to my truck, I first wanted to get them in the body color. So what I did was I took these mirrors. They obviously weren't attached to the truck yet, but I took the mirrors and I took this outer clamshell off. It's just held in with some tabs and a whole lot of 3M double-sided tape. And you just start prying on one end and you'll eventually get the whole thing off. And after you get it off both sides, you're going to want to body work these. Now this side, the passenger side, was actually the same color, the same black textured look. So what I ended up doing was just sanding it with like 80 grit, maybe it was even 40 grit, 80 grit, 100 grit, 200. I think I went up to 300, and I got this perfectly smooth, so that was able to get it painted. After I ended up getting the plastic smooth on this side, I bought some Duplicolor primer, base coat, and clear coat. It's actually the same process that I used for the back bumper, but this paint's actually probably 2 years old. It's real glossy now because I actually have a clear ball on it. It's, I think, 3M made. It wasn't the most expensive, but I took the bug guard off my truck and got a whole clear ball kit for it, and this kit came with it. So anyway, so you can kind of see the gloss here. It's still pretty shiny, but anyway, 4 coats of primer. You wet sand that to like 600 grit. Then I did my base coat. I did 4 coats of the base coat. That's, like I mentioned in my other video, that base coat came from O'Reilly's. It's a Duplicolor brand, but O'Reilly's was the only one that could order it for me. I picked up like 2 or 3 cans of that because these mirrors are small. They're not huge at all. So do the 3 or 4 coats of base coat. Then I did like 8 coats of clear on here. To be honest, that's way overkill because I thought that the more clear I had, the more I could wet sand it and the more polished, shiny look I could get out of it. But those clear coats that I did were very light. Didn't go heavy on them at all. And on the bumper, I actually went one, I think I only did 3 coats on the bumper. Yeah, did 1 coat light, and then 2 or 3. No, I think I did 4 coats. I did, 1 coat light, and then 2 or 3 coats medium, then 1 coat heavy. In retrospect, for the mirrors, I did like 8 coats of just light, and honestly, I got better shine out of the bumper going with the heavier spray on it. So wouldn't recommend going with that much clear coat on here. But anyway, after I got the clear coat dried for, I think I let it dry for a week, 36 hours to like 5 days, and to let it harden up, because the rattle can clears aren't, it's not a 2K clear, it's just I think it's urethane based. Yeah, I think it's urethane based clear, so it's not real sturdy. So let that clear dry, and then I started wet sanding. I wet sanded with like, I want to say I started at 1500. I went to 2500. Then I switched over to the Adams products. I did my severe swirl remover, polish, and then final, I used a synthetic wax instead of no, I'm sorry, I used a carnauba wax because the synthetic wax would seal it in. So, and that's the body process on adding these mirrors. Now, physically adding these mirrors to the truck, it's super simple. You basically just take your door panel off. You'll take this panel off right here. There's 2 or 3 bolts that are 10mm bolts holding the existing mirror to the door. And then you're gonna actually have to take the door panel off too. To take the door panel off, you take the screw out here. There's a screw on the bottom, and you're gonna pop this panel out here. Pop this out, and then I believe there's another screw back there. Now you have to take the door panel off because you have to get to the windshield, the window up and down, and the door lock harness, because that's where the mirror actually plugs in. It's a real weird process. But take all the, take the this screw cover out, the door lock cover off too, and there might be a bolt back there too. I'm not sure, but anyway. So take all that off. Take the door panel, lift the door panel up and out, and it'll come out. And then you want to disconnect the harness for the body harness that goes through the door, that connects to the wiring for the window switch and the door locks. Disconnect that, and you also have the mirror harness plug going through the door. Unconnect that, disconnect as well. So take the door panel off the door, take it off the truck, and you're gonna have to fish through, pull there's the white vapor barrier. That's maybe not the right term, but it is kind of a vapor barrier. Pull the white vapor barrier. It's opaque. It's not white or clear vapor barrier off the door. Feed the harness back through the door. Take those 3 bolts out that I told you about. 2 or 3? I think it's 3. Pull those out, and you can take the factory mirror off. Reinstall is the same way. Put the factory mirror, or put the mirror in, tighten it all down, tighten those 3 bolts down, fish the harness through the door, up through behind the the white vapor barrier, pull the harness through for the mirror, and then grab your door panel, bring the door panel back to the door, plug everything back in, push it back on, plug the mirror harness into the door lock harness, and you're good to go. The last steps would be to put your trim back on, this piece, this piece, this piece. Put the 2 or 3 screws that are holding the door panel in. It's probably, that's a 7 or 8 millimeter bolt right back here behind the door panel. And that's really about it. Now, one other thing that I did was I upgraded to LEDs. These are a 194 LED in the door panel. You can see that in there. Those came from ultrabrightleds.com, something like that. I'll edit this, and anyway, the LEDs came from superbrightled.com, and I also added LEDs to the puddle light in the avalanche mirror. You can't see it because it's daylight. I'll have to shoot another shot, but I replaced this light as well from the same company, and these LEDs throw a bunch of light onto the ground, and I think they look pretty good. So I got the mirror for, I want to say I got one for like $75, and the other one was about $100. And the other reason I upgraded these mirrors was because on my driver's side, this glass was the wrong glass, because this is supposed to be an auto dimming heated mirror, and my auto dimming wasn't working for whatever reason. So I took the mirror apart, and come to find out, someone had replaced it with the wrong glass. This is a turn signal mirror, so that was working, but there was no element for the heated wiring harness to plug into the mirror itself. So the auto dimming didn't work, and the heated part didn't work either. So I replaced, so that's why I bought the Escalade mirror. Took the mirror apart, everything was plugged in correctly, and everything worked. So then that's why I actually bought these mirrors, was because of that driver's mirror with the wrong glass. But anyway, that's the driver's side. Here's the passenger side. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Please subscribe, and thank you.